What's up, everyone? I'm David Rohan with TimingApple. God, I need to work on that intro that sounds like every other person vlogging on the internet. But anyway, so E3 is this week. I'm excited. It's kind of already started, but I have to have something to actually make a video about, so that's why I waited until now. So like every year, we're going to try to do a series of videos talking about, well, it's mostly going to be me, because Dylan's not going to be able to watch everything. Brett's not going to be here for most of it, so in order to sort of make it quicker, it's just going to be me this time. Hello.
Usually we end up looking at you and saying, okay, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, that one!
So yeah, Dylan's on camera this time. But, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead, in this video, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But,
for multiple reasons.
For a lot of reasons. So I'm going to talk about, I count the Pokemon Direct as part of V3 because it was basically close, and a lot of the stuff that basically the two big announcements they showed there are going to be at the show anyway. So we're going to talk about Pokemon, we're going to talk about EA, because that's happened, and Microsoft. Microsoft, actually, we just stopped watching that. So, first with Pokemon, since that's the quickest one to probably get out of the way. The Pokemon Direct announced Pokken Tournament DX for Switch, Ultra Sun and Moon for 3DS, and then the Virtual Console versions of Gold and Silver for 3DS. I'm actually excited about all three of these announcements. Yes, I was hoping there was a Switch main game, but to be honest, I wasn't sure if they really had enough time to have made one anyway, because I'm sure they were one of the first people to know about the Switch, because they're, like, really close with Nintendo. But, we are at 801 Pokemon right now. In order to make a true, Switch main series game, they'd have to make HD models for every single Pokemon. So anyway, I'm sure that we're going to be getting a Pokemon main series game on the Switch eventually. I don't even know if it'll be next year even, because I still don't know if that's enough time, but I'm sure we'll be getting one eventually. But we are getting Ultra Sun and Moon, which I'm really excited about. Some people seem confused, because people are still complaining about the fact that we didn't get stars, but Ultra Sun and Moon is stars, so we got stars. And usually it's like well, Black and White 2, they started doing sequels instead of third entries, so that category of entries in Pokemon usually has the most features and coolest stuff in it, so I can't wait. Pokken Tournament DX is going to be coming with those extra characters that were in the arcade version that we never actually got on the Wii U version, so that's cool. And also an extra character that wasn't on either, Decidueye. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I guess I'm probably most excited though for the Gold and Silver. While I had Gold and Silver as a kid, I wasn't really good enough at games to remember what I was doing most of the time. So I guess I'm most excited about this because now I have a chance to actually finish them and actually complete the Pokédex, because I still have all the Pokemon from when Red and Blue released on Virtual Console. I still got all those, so that'll help me complete the Pokédex in that one. So all that stuff is actually exciting to me. Moving on to EA. EA, I never really expect too much to excite me from EA. There's not a lot from EA that gets me really excited, because most of the time when you think of EA, you think of the EA sports games, Madden, FIFA, NBA. I've never really been too big into sports games, but there are a few things that EA makes that I'm interested in. I didn't think there'd be anything because, like, Mass Effect just came out, so there probably wasn't going to be a Mass Effect thing anytime soon. But they did announce the new BioWare game called Anthem. I'll probably talk more about that when I get to Microsoft things, because that's when they actually show gameplay of it. For some reason, they just announced it at their conference, but then only actually showed the game at the Microsoft conference. But that looked cool. What was the other thing? It was... oh, yeah. I can't remember what it's called now. Dylan, help me out. The Prison Break game. A Way Out. A Way Out. Yeah, they announced a new game from the makers of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons called A Way Out, and it is a mandatory co-op story game, like
split screen co-op.
Yeah, split screen.
Specifically split screen.
So, it's a game about two people wanting to break out of prison. I don't know if that's what the entire game's about, but that's what they were showing off the most, and at least that's going to be at the beginning. Each player takes control of each person, and at least at the start, since y'all are separated, they'll actually have the screen split between a split screen, and like one player could be in a cutscene while the other player is actually moving the character around. So that's really interesting. And they said that the game has to be played co-op, either online or couch. They said preferably couch, but it can be done online too. So if you got a buddy that you see a lot, I guess that's the game for you. You can break out of prison. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Like true friends.
Yeah, just break out of prison. But most of their conference went to showing off Star Wars Battlefront 2, which actually has me interested this time. Star Wars Battlefront sort of had me interested, but it kind of turned me off the fact that there was no like single player campaign at all, or really any single player content at all. But this one will actually have a campaign that apparently bridges the empty space between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. That's what they said, right, Dylan?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's a story that takes place in there. They didn't talk about it too much. They have one of the actresses who's going to be playing one of the characters in the game show up on stage and talk about the game. But they mostly talked about like the multiplayer, like really big battles, the 20 versus 20. But interesting, something that I wouldn't expect from EA really. All the DLC for the game will be free. I did find that there is going to be microtransactions, but it's mostly like to unlock things faster. It's not to get exclusive things from there, from what they've described.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, all the major DLC, like new characters and maps, are free. So that is awesome. So I'm actually kind of excited. So, yeah. Before I get to Microsoft, I forgot, I also wanted to talk a little bit. There was like a few Square Enix announcements, actually, too. I can only remember 2 of them now off the top of my head. But one was apparently the big June update for Final Fantasy 15, where they will be releasing the content for Prompto's story. And a little bit of other things. I can't remember everything, unfortunately. My notes are on my phone. And guess what we're using to film this. So, I know Dylan's probably excited about that, aren't you, Dylan? Dylan's nodding his head. Okay. But the other big thing is that, I guess yesterday, it was late last night, they had one of the first, I don't know if it was one of the first, but they had one of the Kingdom Hearts orchestral concerts happen, and during it, they actually showed off a new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, showing actually a good chunk of story. Like, we haven't really gotten too much about the story for Kingdom Hearts 3, just what happened at the end of the extra bit in 2.8 with Aqua. Whatever the title it was a really long title.
0.8.
Birth by Sleep, 0.8, Fragmentary Passage, Final... something like that. Anyway, that glorified demo... I say glorified demo. I enjoyed it, but it's still a demo. At the end, where they sort of showed a bit of Kingdom Hearts 3. Now we actually have some more story about it. They showed off more of...
It was like an actual trailer.
Yeah.
There were cutscenes. You saw characters interacting with each other.
Right. Most of it happened in Olympus Coliseum. That's what they were showing. And then they also had a shot of Sora, Donald, Goofy talking with
Xemnas and Ansem.
It was Xemnas.
Ansem was staying behind him.
Okay. Yeah, but it was mostly Xemnas talking. Apparently Sora wants to try to bring back Roxas, but Xemnas is like, you can't really... It's kind of hard
How do you bring back somebody who shouldn't exist in the first place? And
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, but you...
I'm not going to go into that because I could go into that for a while. I mean, I can explain why he's there.
Okay, please do.
I'll explain later. You should know.
Listen, it's been a while since I played some of these.
Well, I'll explain to Dylan later, but I'm going to explain it here because that'll just be too long. But yeah, that's interesting. I think there was one more Square Enix thing, but I can't remember what it was now.
There was that Life is Strange, but that was later.
That was in the Microsoft thing, though. I was going to touch on that in Microsoft. I'll remember eventually. Maybe. Probably not. Oh well. Moving on to Microsoft. I have notes. Now I'm going to try to make this quick because there's a lot of them. You can see some of them on the back of my notes. I'll start with that, actually. No, I'll still start with that. The big thing is they finally showed off the Scorpio, what it looks like. It actually doesn't look too different from some of the images of the dev kits that have been sent out, except it's black and it doesn't have that frames per second counter on it. It's got some kind of little, I guess like an infrared kind of screen over on like the lower left-hand side, but they don't have the frames per second counter on, unfortunately. But it basically looks like those pictures, except it's black instead of white. Apparently, it's like the smallest Xbox console they've ever made.
They had a side-by-side. It looks like it's honestly almost about half the size of the Xbox S.
Yeah.
NS.
And they were talking about all the specs of it, and I am not the biggest computer hardware knowledgeable person, but 6 teraflops, whatever that means. And it will be able to run native 4K, so like where the PlayStation 4 Pro kind of uses a bunch of jimmy rigging to sort of make it appear 4K, Xbox One will actually run games in 4K, which I do know the difference of that, at least. So that's actually impressive, and they said that it's going to be $500 at launch, and it's coming out November 7th. Yes, November 7th. That's when it's coming out. That was the big thing about the show. And, and they actually had a bunch of games to show off. I'm going to try to just pick a few that were interesting.
42 games, by the way.
And I didn't write down all of them, let me tell you that. I am not that fast of a writer. So, they announced Forza Motorsport 7. They announced Metro Exodus, Assassin's Creed Origins, which looks awesome. It's taking place in Egypt. Dylan was trying to be cool. It's like, oh, is this the Origins of Assassin's Creed? And I already saw the leaks from later. I was like, oh, Dylan, you just wait. And then they said the title. Assassin's Creed Origins. Like, hey, Dylan, you called it. Yes. It comes on my birthday, too.
I'm sorry about the camera right now. I'm laughing.
Keep it steady. You can do it. Use
Nope.
2 hands.
I doubt that would help.
Well, keep it steady. Just do your best. Let's see.
I'm good now. I'm not laughing.
What else was interesting? The Minecraft Super Duper Graphics Pack. To me, it just looked like better lighting, but
Yeah, better lighting effects, but hey, that's improvement. I like those improved lighting effects.
well. Anyway, they got that. There's a bunch of other Minecraft update stuff too. I think that they're talking about. I feel like the community update already happened, but they were talking about that again too. There's also going to be like cross-platform play between
Just
consoles.
about to bring that up, yes.
And they actually had a Switch, like a Minecraft-built Switch, show up, which is funny because that's the first time we saw the Switch at E3 was
In Microsoft, of all things.
in Microsoft's conference. They announced Dragon Ball FighterZ Z. It's another Dragon Ball fighting game.
But it's back to 2D, which I like.
It moved away from that?
Tenkaichi, yeah.
I thought that was 2D.
I don't know, that was all 3D environment.
I don't know, I haven't played a Dragon Ball fighting game in forever.
Dude, like, since Dragon Ball 3 was, or Budokai 3 was like the last 2D fighter that they had.
They all just melded together for me.
Carrying on.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi Xenoverse Battle of Gods 2.
We're waiting for it. All the hype. You heard it here first from us.
Black Desert. I felt like that was something that we were interested in, but I can't remember anything about it now.
Fuck, what was that one? They went through so much shit.
We have too much.
can't
We have
remember.
too much to go through.
Yes.
The Artful Escape, that looked interesting. It was like a rock. I think that was like a game that
It
sort of
looked
goes
like
through. I think like the idea is that it's like they're telling an adventure, but it's like also this dude's concert. I don't know. It was interesting. Code Vein looks like something made by Platinum. It's some like Japanese action game, anime action game that I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, but
Have you seen a JRPG in the last 5 years?
I don't know because it looked like it was like actual free
it looks
moving.
unique, yes, but
It would look like it was free moving, not necessarily RPG. Well, I guess.
Yeah.
You can
well,
still call
there's
that
a lot of RPGs that are free moving.
That looked cool. They showed a lot of Sea of Thieves. They actually showed 4 people cooperating together to go through this island and actually steal a treasure. And they showed that you fight undead skeletons, and you can launch yourself out of a cannon for quick travel, sort of. Like if you're on the boat and you need to be on the island, get in the cannon.
Excuse me, I need to personally go send them a fuck you.
Yeah, you can like use the cannon to either get quickly to an island or you can go onto another person's ship and fight them off. So that was the big highlight for me. I thought that was cool. The fact that you can launch yourself out of a cannon.
It looked like he actually took a little bit of damage from it, though.
Probably.
I saw his health bar after he landed. I didn't see it before, though.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, Super Lucky's Tail.
That looks so fucking cute, I gotta say.
I want that. It's another 3D platformer, and I like 3D platformers, and I don't know if that's really all that rare. I mean, it's rare, but it seems to be happening more and more often recently, especially since we just got Yooka-Laylee. Great game, by the way. And then we just got Ratchet and Clank the year before, so I mean, they exist right now, but I guess they are kind of rare, but it looks really good. It's like the main character is like this little fox character, and he uses his tail to whack things, and he collects coins.
And he dive bombed it.
I got a real Super Mario Galaxy vibe. I mean, not that it like is Galaxy where there's gravity stuff, but like just the music and the way it looked, it reminded me of Galaxy for some reason, even though it's probably more like 3D World than Galaxy, but that looks good. I can't wait for that. Cuphead is coming out September 29th.
Yay!
I think it's been like 3 E3s that they've showed that.
Gameplay like you've never... like you have seen before.
So yeah, we're finally getting that September 29th. Hooray! What's next? They showed off Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews. That's funny. They showed off a bunch of games as part of their ID at Xbox. There was no way I could write those titles down as quick as they were putting
There are
them
about
out.
4 of them that look like I'd be interested.
They do look interesting, so I suggest actually going and researching that if you're interested in some, there's some games that look really good, but I can't really tell you much about them. They went through them so fast. But it's like the ID at Xbox group. I don't know if they might have those like sectioned off as a category of those announced at E3 2017. But Ashen looked interesting.
Yeah, that looked interesting, like you said.
I don't really know much else about
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. You're in a dark place, you're trying to find the light, and there's a lot of creepy shit doing creepy shit to you.
Yeah. Oh, they announced the Life is Strange sequel. It's called Before the Storm. I haven't played the first Life is Strange to really be able to know what's going on or like what was special about the trailer, because they like seemed to focus. They like mentioned a character specifically, and I was like, is she supposed to be dead or something? Her name was Rachel, I think. So if that means anything to people that have played it, Rachel's there, unless that's the main character. I don't know, but they said it's going to be 3 episodes total. I think the last one was 5, wasn't it?
I believe so.
So I don't know if maybe like each section is going to be longer or not, but yeah. By the way, for PlayStation owners, Life is Strange is actually free this month. So if you do want to try it out, you can do that.
I finally own it.
I still need to claim it myself. They showed off a lot more footage of Shadow of War. I love the orc that they showed off. That you apparently you can recruit orcs. Could you do that in the first one, Dylan?
You could like temporarily turn some of them against their allies.
Oh,
like it wasn't like this scale where it's like you are now part of my army. It was just sort of like you disorient this one guy, he helps you out with this battle. End.
So that was cool. Yeah, you can actually like I guess do something to their mind and recruit them. And
I'll kill you. Light Lord, Dark Lord, same difference. I still get to rip out spines.
Yeah,
way.
I've never seen an orc with so much character.
I
love that orc. He's awesome.
Doesn't matter to me. I get to rip out spines either way. Let's go.
Yeah, I love that orc. I hope. Well, I'm sure he's going to be in the game, but that's the first person I'm going to look for is that guy.
Oh yeah.
They announced an Ori sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and as soon as that piano started and they started showing the footage, I still haven't played the first Ori, but just like the combination of that, I've played games like that before, and it's just like, I'm gonna cry, aren't I? Yep, I'm gonna cry, and I guess they were showing like graves of the owl people. So
we're owl exterminate.
No more Futurama jokes. And we're getting to the last bit.
Don't stop me.
One of the last things they said is that original Xbox games are going to be part of the backwards compatibility now. They didn't say if you could like pop in your disc and it would download a file, sort of like it does with the Xbox 360 games. But they said they are working on bringing original Xbox games to Xbox One, just like they did with Xbox 360. And let's see. And also some previously released games like Gears of War 4, Halo Wars 2, Forza Motorsport, for Forza Horizon 3 are going to be enhanced for Xbox One X. So, by the way, did I say that was what it was called? By the way, Scorpio is called Xbox One X. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay.
I think.
But, yeah, Xbox One X will have some games available at launch that are already enhanced, and then some games for the online will get updates. Sort of like how some PlayStation 4 games got updates to more effectively use PS4 Pro effectively. I said effectively twice. So
you're not being very effective.
And then they finally talked about Anthem more. They actually showed it off, and it seems to be, I guess it's, I don't know if it's always online, but it's a co-op. You can play cooperatively with other people. But what it seems like,
it looks like there's also some drop in, drop out.
Yeah, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, humanity seems to be behind a wall, so I guess it's another post-apocalyptic thing. But you can go outside the wall, and they're like, I don't remember what they're called, but I'm calling Guardians because it reminded me of Destiny.
Crap, what were they called?
Well, we don't have time to figure it out.
Started with the J.
No, that's javelins are the suits.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were trying to figure out.
No, I was trying to figure out what the protectors were called. Maybe they're just called protectors or freelancers. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah. This
group of people have these suits that help them go beyond the wall and fight the stuff that's beyond the wall. And there's like rangers.
Bring back stuff that you need. They only mentioned 2 of the different types of classes. There was the ranger, which is the balanced one.
And then like, I'm going to call it...
Juggernaut, was it?
Maybe it's called the Juggernaut, which is like a tank in a suit.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to play as a ranger because it reminded me of Iron Man with all of its features.
Then I saw something... I was about to say, then I saw one flying. They all fly.
Well, there was one that sort of like had a more mystical air about it. So
like it was flying like Iron Man instead of actually walking around like the others were.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that is
teleported.
That is the gist of the Xbox One, the Xbox E3, and next up tonight is Bethesda. Actually, as the time of recording, So my next video will hopefully cover. I want to cover Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Sony at least in the next one. There's also Devolver Digital, but I don't. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't remember what all Devolver Digital makes. But yeah, so my next video should be Ubisoft, Bethesda, or Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Sony, because those are the next two to happen. Especially Sony, because it's a big thing. I gotta make sure I really paraphrase in Sony. Anyway, that's part 1 of E3. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.